Hello everybody, welcome to Roundtable's special series, Railway Trip in Tibetan Style. I am He Yang. We are now in Nyingchi City in Tibet, and today's a little bit different from our usual recordings and shows, as we are in a children's park, and we're my friends Lai Ming and Huang Shen.
Hi! We are three grown-ups in a children's park.
Yeah,
and
we are playing a swing.
And they're on a swing, and I haven't seen swings like this that you can get multiple people on, and you guys seem to be...
Why don't you join us?
Winging away. No, because I feel really nauseous, so I don't want to barf on camera, and that's why I'm not on it. So, guys, do you want to have a little bit more fun swinging, or you want to come down to earth and stand next to me?
shall we?
Yeah.
Let's get off.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Let's get off.
Yeah,
there we go.
stabilize this
Right,
first.
careful.
And then,
Great.
There we go.
Now we are down to earth.
Yeah, how are you guys?
Pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
And no matter how old you are, there's always a kid inside of you.
Yeah, unless you're like always ready to barf, and that's not really a good thing to be caught on
True.
camera.
Yeah.
Yes, so we are in a children's park, and there's all kinds of amenities here, and this is part of the Gombu park in Nyingchi, which is the biggest central park definitely in Tibet. And
all of Tibet, yeah.
Yeah. And
perhaps even in China. But we need to verify on that.
The urban park.
Yeah.
It's very big.
Okay, the scenery is beautiful, as Nyingchi is in a valley, you know? So the weather is really pleasant right now, and we see really beautiful mountains surrounding us, and this rather large park, which is part of the Gombu Park, and this Gombu Park is a very important, I suppose, existence for civilians living in the city.
Exactly. The reason why we are here is because we heard this is, like He Yang said earlier, the biggest central park in all of Tibet. And this year, the children's park, although kind of childish for the three of us, has some special features. For instance, next to us there's a science experience center, and some of the amenities here, I think they're better than
amusement park.
Yeah, they're better than the ones I see at the Beijing International Sculpture Park, which is the scene where we filmed the preparation episode for our railway tripping Tibetan style special series. So we just had a little bit of fun on the swing and some other amenities, and Gombu Park obviously is special in the sense that well, we are here situated in the Grand Canyon, and so the wind can get very gusty from time to time, and as a result, previously in the same spot there was a sort of a forest, artificial forest, to help curb the wind in the valley, to make people feel comfortable. Yeah. But over the years, things got a little bit into disrepair. So, and also people here have a higher demand for a place to hang out, for recreation. Also, Nyingchi has become a very popular tourist destination, so we have people coming from all over China, if not all over the world, to spend time here, and to have a forest that's not exactly functional and that is producing a lot of catkins and in spring and summer is no longer fit for a city like this. So they spend a lot of resources to restore this land, and Gombu Park, obviously, like we said earlier, is the biggest one, the central park here in Tibet, and the children's park is just a part of it. Elsewhere, there's also an eco park, and I think they're still under construction. Same is the business area that is also building. But so far, the children's park is open, and reservation is open to parents and schools, so they can come in teams, in groups, and most likely they will have a great time both in the Science Experience Lab or Experience Center or in the amusement park.
And there's also a very impressive part in the Gombu Park, and which is that there's a bridge right inside the Gombu Park and connecting the urban park with the mountains surrounding the city. I think that is quite like impressive. And also in front of the entrance of the Gombu Park, and there's a statue.
Yeah.
The statue consists of like two men doing archery.
So yeah.
You know, the subject of archery, the object of archery is very, very simple. You just want to get your arrow to shoot the target as close as possible. And can you explain to us what does like a 必秀之子 mean?
Well, 必秀 is the word they have for 响箭 in Mandarin Chinese, and 响箭 obviously is a kind of arrow that makes a whistling sound when it's shot from the bow. And 响箭 or 必秀 is a very popular and also traditional sport in this part of the region, Gombu, which stands for Grand Canyon.
Right, and this particular type of archery actually has a history of 1,600 years. So it really goes back further back, and still today, you know, people of this particular region take that as part of their cultural identity, I suppose. And so it's kind of very fit to have this as a theme, a representation.
Right.
Of the
You
local
have
place.
a little bit of a tradition here concerning the 必秀 and 响箭, but you also have modernity in the form of the Science Experience Lab.
And we are excited to take you to the Science
Experience
Center.
Center.
There's a lot of exciting stuff waiting for you, I betcha. Stay tuned. We're now at Nyingchi City's Youth and Children's Science Center. It's in the same Gombu Park, and we're gonna move to the entrance as we get into this exhibition hall. And actually there's a lot more that's gonna be presented inside.
Yeah, we're just sitting here looking at the models of the spaceship and satellites. And if you're looking at the still models, you feel like you are reminded of the old-fashioned science projects that can be very boring. But in fact, as a grown-up, I have been inside this Science Experience Center, and I feel for myself, I think there are a few projects that I can enjoy. So I'm not sure about you guys.
You can see the module and also the 4 boosters, and also there's a satellite over there, and the background is our Earth. And so I think it's very important to make science more interesting and more accessible to the younger generation. We always say our kids are our future, and also we all know that science has played a vital role in boosting a country's development. So how we can popularize and simplify the scientific terms, I think it's very important. I'm really looking forward for this journey because it includes a lot of like immersive experience, interactions, and we can experience the science by ourselves.
Yeah, and you guys make such brilliant points. I think for a lot of people, you know, having that interest, a spur of interest in whatever subject, you know, that is key to a lifetime of learning. And when it comes to science, yeah, it can be a little boring, but I promise you, it's not going to be boring on today's Roundtable show. So let's move on and have a look inside the Youth and Children's Science Center.
Right.
We're now inside the Science Center for the Youth and Children in Nyingchi City, and
this thing says garbage recycling.
And it is a game that we're going to play.
Shall we?
Basket purifier.
Shall we?
Oh, yes. And before we do that, let me just explain to everybody. Sorry, just hold your horses for one more second, guys. Okay, so this is like a basketball shooting game, and there's a big screen in front of us, and there are, like, we need to decide who we represent as shooters. So, Lai Ming, do you want to be those two?
Other
you have long arms,
and kitchen.
You can take care of 2
Yeah,
baskets.
I take care of 2.
Okay, so these two shooters you are in charge.
Got it.
Okay, and I'll be representing hazardous waste. I'm not
red.
that, but I'm representing that in this game. And what about you, Huang Xian?
Wow, this is in my character. It's recyclable.
Okay.
Yeah, the recyclable waste.
Dustbin.
Dustbin. Yeah.
Okay, so this game is about us shooting into the right baskets as we sort out the garbage.
Yeah.
All right.
There's garbage coming to us on a conveyor belt, and we need to decide which one goes into which bin.
Oh, okay.
Quickly.
All
Very
right,
quick.
so it's a
Shall
game
we?
of
There's
the
a
brain and the
timer,
finger.
yeah.
Let's go for it. Does
There you
it
go.
start?
Let's start the game.
Okay, start the game. Okay.
Okay.
Come on. Come on.
Wait, now-
Coming.
oh, here we go.
Go.
Okay, so
All
what,
right, all
what
right.
was that?
Oh, now it's the
Toxic.
introduction part.
Let's wait.
Okay.
Oh.
Kitchen.
And
Recyclable.
Okay.
Cardboard
box.
All right.
What's the next?
Tissue.
Other,
Recyclable.
Other.
Okay.
Yeah.
During show.
Other.
Other. I guess.
Or is it kitchen waste?
During shell. It's not responding. That's hazardous.
Hazardous.
And
Dust.
Dust is other.
Yeah.
For some reason, this button is not responding.
Shell is also
still other.
Other. Yeah.
Come on.
And this is
And
The light tube.
used
waste.
light tube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Hazardous.
hazardous.
Yeah. And this
Food
is
waste.
kitchen.
Food waste.
Food waste.
Yeah.
Kitchen.
Kitchen.
And kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Veggie
There you go.
stuff. More
okay.
hazardous.
Expired medicine.
Expired medicine. Yeah.
What's
Anything
next?
else?
Peanut
Peanut
shell.
shell. Other.
Other.
Or kitchen. Other.
Or this
Go
one.
for it.
Let's try.
Oh, and diapers.
Diapers.
Oh, no, other.
Others.
Diapers.
Diapers
other.
is
That much I know. Diapers.
pesticide. It's like
Okay,
hazardous.
pesticide has to be
That's right.
hazardous. Okay, I've thrown it to the right basket.
Recyclable.
Okay.
Soda bottle.
There's more? Okay.
Recyclable.
Recyclable. Glass bottle.
Bottle.
And
recyclable.
periodicals. Periodicals.
Yeah.
Recyclable.
This
Hazardous.
is probably me.
Yeah.
The paint
More?
basket.
This is probably other.
Other. Or
Oh no.
ah,
It's kitchen.
Kitchen. Other than kitchen waste.
Kitchen waste.
Yeah,
Banana
but-
peel.
Yeah.
Banana peel is
What
that's
about-
other.
Or is it? Oh, you
Used
got
coal.
it right, Langy.
Yeah.
Wow. Book.
Books.
Recyclable.
Books.
There we go.
Hazardous.
Hazardous.
Yeah.
Use makeup.
Expired cosmetic products.
Oh.
Really?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Okay,
Wow.
ladies, you should remember this.
Tissue.
That should go to
Tissue.
other waste.
Yeah. Other waste.
Other.
And
Yeah.
well, what's the? This is
Toilet
blue
paper.
paper.
You used toilet
balls.
paper, and this is also
balls.
other.
Others. Yeah.
And this also is
Oh, is this other?
corn cob.
Yeah.
Cup.
What about
and
tree leaves?
Trees is other.
Other?
Other.
Other.
Oh, is the other
Now
one
I know
no?
why this button is.
The can.
Now I know why this button is
it-
malfunctioning.
all right.
Recyclable.
Recyclable.
Okay.
Hazardous.
Hazardous. Use
Battery.
batteries. What?
Really?
Why?
Use batteries to go to other waste?
Yeah, lithium-ion batteries, they are hazardous, but regular batteries, they are the other.
Oh.
Well, I learned something.
Kitchen waste.
Okay, oh, we missed that one.
Okay. All right.
Oh, this one's hazardous.
Hazardous.
Yay!
Oh, we got 220 points.
220 points.
Okay, so this is
great.
actually group effort. It's not like a competition among us
No.
three. So
Yeah.
you learned something along the way after that quite heated basketball shooting game
Yeah.
of garbage sorting, you know.
Right.
Here are some really tricky items like
would have
coconut
known?
shell, you
Yeah,
know.
you.
Probably your first instinct is like you should
Kitchen.
ditch it into the kitchen waste.
Yeah.
But actually it belongs to the other
Other.
waste. And also the batteries, right?
yeah, that
Depends
much I
on
know.
what kind of battery.
But I wasn't paying attention because lithium-ion batteries, they are hazardous. But regular AAA batteries, they're just fine.
Yeah.
And cosmetics, use
Oh
cosmetics.
yeah, I thought it should be
Hazardous.
hazardous.
But it's actually
other.
other.
Yeah.
So actually a lot goes to other waste.
Yeah.
Which is why this button is malfunctioning.
And this is more vivid than I just look at a piece of paper and give me the idea of like which waste should go into
Right.
which bin. It's more interactive than just a simple list.
And
I-
entertaining.
I'm
Sounds
pretty
like-
sure the younger generation can easily remember how they should throw away their garbage.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
a lot more reason for them to keep playing at it.
Yeah.
Right?
And what's our next stop?
How about we just take a walk and then find out?
We'll let you know in a second.
Yeah.
Our next stop in the Science Experience Center. we're now testing and trying out another fun activity in this Science Education Center. So, Lai Ming and Huangshan are now on spin bikes, as it looks like it, but actually this is going to be a power generator contest. As they spin away, they're supposed to be generating electricity. Let's see who is the hotter person. Okay. Are we ready?
You're in charge.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's go!
Yes. Here we go.
I'm spinning.
Spinning.
I'm an expert in this. I have a spinning machine in my home.
You win this
I'm
round.
winning.
Don't
Oh
you
my
usually
God.
go to spin classes?
I'm winning.
Oh, Lai Ming's ahead at the moment.
No.
Go,
Yeah.
Huangshan!
We have a winner.
Yeah.
We have a winner, and it is Lai Ming this time, and Huangshan is really just that much
Congratulations.
close to
Thank
him.
you.
Friendship is the most important
Thank you,
thing
thank you.
in a
You
competition.
did a good job too.
Yeah, what a remarkable experience. We're doing spinning.
Wow.
Yes,
Science Museum, in a Science Center.
take it easy.
On
Take
the
it
Tibetan
easy.
plateau.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is still 3,300 meters above sea level.
Yeah.
So you guys, you know,
We're
sort
doing
of
pretty well.
settle down a little bit.
Good cardio exercise.
Yeah.
We
What a great lifestyle. We are generating power and electricity. And also at the same time, we are working out.
Yeah. Can you imagine doing this on the way to work? Let's say, you know, some people cycle to work.
Yeah.
And if they're doing that, you know, cycling,
Okay.
and then also generating maybe the power for your
Smartphone.
mobile phone or, you know, your earpods or
Earpods,
whatnot.
yeah.
So that's a kind of lifestyle that actually in parts of the country and the world actually people might be engaged in already, but still pretty niche, but
Yeah.
a really good green thought there.
So very intriguing idea to get students interested in physics.
Yeah.
And Lai Ming still needs to take a moment, and you too.
There's a
which
cost to winning.
Yeah.
And we will see you in our next
Event.
activity here in the Science Education Center, so don't go away.
Let's go.
Let's go. Hi, look what we found here. A model of China's Shenzhou spacecraft, and guess who's getting in there and what they're going to experience using VR technology. Come on,
It's
come on,
gonna
come
be
on.
me, He Yang.
And me, Huangshan, I booked my tickets already to space. Here's the tickets, the invisible tickets.
We're going into the
Here we go.
capsule,
Ah.
Into the capsule.
and
Wow.
it's
Putting
quite
on the
tiny here.
VR.
VR vision goggles
Yeah.
and seatbelts. And we're in the
So-
Shen. I'm gonna wing it this time because usually, like without my glasses. By the way, I'm nearsighted, so if I don't take off my glasses, If I take off my glasses, I would not be able to see. So for this one, I'm just gonna wing it with my glasses, and I can't wait to see what space looks like.
亲爱的朋友，大家好，欢迎大家来到旅行者1号，我是大家星际旅行的导航员小 Q。今天我将和大家一起进行这场星际旅行。神秘的宇宙有着太多的未知等待着我们去探索、去发现。大家准备好了吗？让我们一起开始这场神奇的星际旅行吧。
Journey to space, to the universe. Oh, wow.
Interstellar, here we come.
Wow.
So, is this what it looks like in a spacecraft?
Yes, I see the Earth.
You do? I
首
see
先，
nothing.
大家看到的是离我们地球最近的天体——月亮。它是地球的卫星，并且是太阳系中的第5大卫星。
You're looking at
由
the
于我
moon.
们的时间有
Biggest
限，
satellite in
让我们继
the
续
solar
向前。
system. Now we're moving forward. I see the galaxy, He Yang.
Yes, I do.
Wow.
And the moon is
Who
where
are
we're
they? Who are these
seeing.
passengers? Wow.
出现在黑暗中的这颗行星，就是爱之女神金星。金星是一颗类地行
Mars?
星，
Venus.
因其质量与地球类似，
Venus.
有时也被人们叫做地球的姐妹星。
It's the sister of the
眼
Earth.
前的这颗行星
It's
是水
Venus.
星，它是距离太阳最近的行星。
Being a tycoon.
Dang.
I don't know about amazing. But, I have a phobia for things in the sky. I mean, as a little kid, as I lie on the playground and stare at the moon or simply the blue sky, I get a phobia. I have a deep felt fear.
Fear,
Yeah,
right?
so to see you guys in there, really, well, you obviously enjoyed it.
Yeah, because I think this could be an odyssey journey for an amateur astronomer or anyone who are interested in astronomy. And I think during the journey, we experience a space tour, and we also break into a black hole. And also the introduction told us how a black hole was formed. It's basically based on the death of a shining star, which is a quite tragic story, you know.
Now, all of this sounds very, very horrible to me.
But if you love star signs, and this is a perfect journey for you, and you can just travel along with the instruction, and they will tell you the stars and all the constellations, and it's really interesting. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. I mean, you've got potential to be one of those astronauts or taikonauts, as we call them here in this country.
Yeah.
And for me, for my part, I really admire those who have the courage and the audacity to really go into the real space, not this simple model.
Yeah.
You know.
And with this little capsule there, I would suggest if anybody who's got claustrophobia, this is not the place for you.
No.
But also when you've got the VR goggles on, and we didn't have headphones on, so there was narration from beginning to end, and
there's an interpreter inside the cabin. I feel like
it was pretty loud. She'll get your attention for sure, and the seats can move, you know, like to give you that. Is it 5D experience or is it 4D?
5G.
5D.
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 Yeah, dimensional.
Oh, and it moves.
Yeah, it moves. And,
like this.
Yeah, it was during the journey. Like Huangshen mentioned that it was kind of like a roller coaster within the universe, that, you know, on a spaceship, that kind of thing. So I think that was the part that, you know, got me a little nervous actually, but the view was really great. You could see stardust, star clouds, and
the sun.
Nebula. Nebula.
Yes, and feel sort of like the meteorites sort of just passed you like that. And for anybody who's interested in space or you know, just want to have a go at what it might feel like being a taikonaut in this country, this is, I think, a pretty cool little first step you can take. And for anybody who's not interested in space, which is fine too, you might be interested after taking a trip like that. So overall, enjoyable. And if you have certain phobias, I guess you know, maybe just have a second thought about that. But definitely, I think for a young person to be here, it would be an exciting ride. We will see you back on Roundtable. I'm He Yang. Here's Lai Ming and Huangshen. Stay tuned for more content.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Lai Ming is in a fighter jet simulator right now. This guy's gonna realize his dream of becoming a captain of a fighter jet. And here,
it's so cool to be a pilot.
Did I have that dream?
Have you
made that up.
prepared for that ride?
I don't think I've had that training.
Yeah.
Wow. And here he blasts off.
Okay.
Wow.
Whoa, Lai Ming.
Do you need to shoot your target?
Bandit ahead, bandit.
He's opening fire.
Wow.
And crashing into a building. He just missed the building, and he's missing another building. Oh my goodness. And then he goes straight on.
Pull up.
Heads on.
Pull up.
Oh, and there's another. Oh, a plane just went down. And it's not Lai Ming's plane, by the way, so it's fine.
Pull up.
And then he just goes even further.
Wow. Are you going to rotate with the machine, with your fighter jet?
Bomb. Missile.
There's an explosion.
Hey.
Oh, Lai Ming's turning 360 degrees.
Oh no.
It's so cool. I mean, how do you feel?
360 degrees.
Altitude is a bit low. Whoa. Is this how it feels to fly a plane?
Can you control the direction?
Left.
Oh. Can you shoot? Where's your enemy?
Check.
Do
Acceleration.
you see the enemy?
Alright, I check. Okay, we're okay. We're okay.
You're okay?
We're okay.
Do you feel
Okay.
dizzy?
Decelerate. Which one's decelerate?
But Liming,
Oh, I think it just wants the missile.
Still turning lining up, and he's
Oh.
moving sideways a little
All right,
bit.
all right. Where's the?
It seems like the control panel is
I think
pretty
it's
difficult.
Oh, I think I just destroyed my plane. Oh no! Cockpit destroyed.
Well, what's your plan?
Cockpit. How do I land?
Are you flying into the cloud?
How do I land?
You're flying away, actually.
This morning.
Should you go back to
Heavy
the
damage.
city? We don't see the cityscape.
Let's see the physics. Oh
Press
no!
decelerate, is that
What am I
possible?
doing here? Okay. I'm flying. I'm flying.
Yeah, you're flying.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're
Another
actually
350
flying.
degrees.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm flying. Oh.
Oh,
All right.
And
There you go.
what's the next target?
and
Okay.
Liming
Fighter
is
jet.
getting closer to
How do I
the
decelerate?
ground, but
How do I
not
decelerate?
yet.
Oh. Decelerate. Check.
And decelerating.
All right.
Things
This is a
are calming
landing
down
time?
a little bit.
That's
Yes,
the
sir.
hardest part.
How do I
Let's see
do
if
this?
there's a soft landing.
Decelerate by
Yeah.
turning with the increase in turning performance.
There we go. There we go. Where's the runway for?
Caution
Huh, what?
stall.
Where's the runway? Yeah.
Enemy ahead.
And Liming is trying to find aim.
You need to press the
Okay.
button. Press E
Press the
to
button.
switch between enemy
Enemy
target and
ahead.
prepare
Enemy
for
ahead.
lock in. There we go.
In purview, you can see there's
I
like
need
a
to
big
fly up.
park.
Oh
And
no!
Liming's
No.
getting
Wow.
closer to the city in this
Yeah.
fighter jet simulator.
Oh, pulling up.
We need to find an airport.
Pulling up.
Oh, are you going to crash into the sea?
I think I just crashed.
Really?
Oh, mission fails.
Oh.
I think I just
We're
failed.
just glad that we're getting you back, Liming.
Good news is this is a simulation.
Do you
Oh.
want to
No,
Okay.
no
get
more.
down with a parachute?
Oh,
No, how do I stop it?
Press stop!
how do we stop the simulator?
How do I stop this? Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Take
now,
your time. Take your time.
How many-
now
Lemmy.
everybody's safe.
Yeah,
How many
this is a
turns
very
do I need
intense
to-
trip.
Okay.
I'm fine, thank you. It's time for
Lemmy,
a
how
break.
are you doing? Are you
okay?
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
Really?
Although I did crash the plane.
There was a lot of spinning around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was.
There's a part.
720
Yeah.
degrees kind of spinning.
There's a part I don't understand. What's your mission?
I think that was a training session. I'm supposed to like pull up and put down and destroy
The
enemy
enemies,
airplanes
okay.
and then also land. But I don't think I
Liming, rest assured, you did a very good job on your first attempt as well, Liming.
All right.
So I think we should let the man rest for a little bit,
Yeah.
catch his breath, and we will continue our trip here in the Science Research Center in Nyingchi, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Welcome to Roundtable's special series, Railway Trippin' Tibetan Style. Hey guys, I'm He Yang, and here's Lai Ming and Huang Shen.
Hi.
And guess where we are?
And we are still in Tibet, obviously, and in Nyingchi. We were in the Science Educational Center in, well, just about now. And now we've moved to the Children's Amusement Park area. And if you're not checking out our video, it's just beyond your wildest guess.
I could never imagine this.
Okay.
Also, we drove to Nyingchi.
We drove to, well,
yes.
It looks as if maybe
3 fancy sports cars.
Didn't you just tell me you didn't have a driver's license?
You should keep it as a secret.
Yeah.
You're safe.
Yeah, your secret is safe with us. And we are actually, the 3 of us are individually driving a bumper car in a children's amusement park. That's a sentence that I never thought that I'll put together.
I always wanted to do this, but my son is too young.
Oh, but you can play with us.
Sure.
Yeah. And just give it a couple of years. I'm sure your son will be up for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
He would be begging you to take him to a place like this.
He doesn't have to.
And just to, fulfill my full look, I'm going to put on my racer's cap.
Whoa.
Sorry, guys.
So cool.
Well, then
I came in prepared.
And I'm going to put on my seatbelt.
Can you figure out how to do that with this first time?
No, can't do.
Haven't really tried out car.
You drove a bumper car. When was the last time?
Honestly, I don't recall ever driving a bumper car.
So what's your favorite activity in an amusement park?
The last time I was in an amusement park, that was 2007.
Really?
I know what I hate. I hate the pirate ship.
That's my favorite.
Roller coaster, I can do. Yeah. Merry-go-round, nah, not my thing.
That's just next to you.
Yeah, we do see a merry-go-round.
Yeah.
Not that far away from Lai Ming. And yeah, with amusement parks, I mean, the amusement park usually has a theme, I would
A
think.
theme park?
Yeah.
Like Harry Potter.
It's also called the theme park.
Yeah, and this one is certainly targeting kids with this part of the park. Yeah, we're still within the Gombu Central Park here in Nyingchi. And, well, I remember myself being a terrible bumper car driver, but I'm actually a pretty good driver in real life.
Oh, yeah?
So if you suck at this, okay, don't be too disappointed, because you could still do well, in a real car. But Huang Shen seemed to have different opinion.
Who am I to say that I don't have a driver's lesson?
Yeah, she still has some car lessons to take. Yeah, and also when you see this huge children's park,
right,
pretty much in the center of the Nyingchi city.
Yeah.
In the city center. So that probably shows some level of necessity or importance to people to have this kind of amenity, considering this is not a huge city actually, only with 200,000 people as population here.
This is a very small city then. But yeah, and it's a narrow strip of a city along the Nyingchi River, which is a branch of the Yaluzampo River. Brahmaputra, as they call it in India.
All right.
Wow.
So, well, for kids, it's really easy to, sort of just hop on the bus or come with parents and have this kind of, really quite bright, shiny, new children's park with all these fun activities to do.
They didn't used to have it. I mean, it was only open earlier this year. Last June the 1st, the International Children's Day, there was a test run, and I saw a news report describing how a young kid was so excited about being here. And he said, I no longer have to travel to Chengdu to be in an amusement park.
And I think it's very good for the comprehensive education for kids in the city, because you can start your day with a jogging along the park, and I mean the urban park and the Central Park. You can enjoy the trees, the plantations, and take a deep breath of the fresh air, and then you can walk into the Science and Technology Center and to learn some knowledge, and also you can enjoy yourself with these immersive interactions and experiences. And after that is your playtime, and you can choose which is your favorite activity, and you can do like bumper car, you can enjoy my favorite pirate boat, merry-go-round, and also there's a skateboarding place in here.
Ooh,
we know that this year, during the Olympic Games, and they include skateboarding into the competition. So I think it's a very cool place, and for kids to enjoy their day. You can actually just spend a day in here.
You know, it's very cool of you to say that, because I know a lot of young people, when they haven't gotten married, they don't have a kid, they look at amusement parks, they don't give a...
Oh, I know. I don't know what you want to say. Yeah.
So I was like that. I never paid any attention to amusement parks. There's an international sculpture park I keep mentioning on the show, which is right next to our office building.
Yeah.
And I never really cared about it until I have a son. And on weekends, I'm desperate in finding out a place for my kids to hang out. And it was then that I realized there are amusement facilities in that park that I love so much. I could spend a whole day there just knowing that my son will be having a good time. Same for the people here. Like I said earlier, the little kid was happy because they don't have to travel to Chengdu to enjoy this facility. And here in China, we are experiencing,
urbanization,
slowed population growth, and we're thinking about how exactly can we encourage people to have more babies, because you want the population growth to be stable, because that's the healthy way. And one of the ways, I think, is to provide the facilities for people to hang out.
Yeah, where you can bring your kids to. And actually, I saw this report a while ago actually saying that if you manage to get the kid or the baby in the stroller into the store, then you are sealed with a deal, because you have the parents to come in, or sometimes the grandparents as well, and then that is also a nice hangout for the family, like in Beijing or a lot of places in China, for example, on the weekends, the malls, they still get a lot of traffic, and mainly because they have these facilities for children to play with, to hang out, and then parents can come in, and once you've attracted the family to do that, and then that's going to be a really good business opportunity too.
Yeah, you know, the online shopping is really, in many ways, replacing brick and mortar stores.
Yeah.
But the supermarket or the mall that I frequently go to always seems to be packed, and the reason is because in the basement floor there's a huge amusement park sort of thing for little kids, and it's always packed with people, and you know how much you need to spend to enjoy a day there? I think I spent 50 yuan for my son to ride in a make-believe train on the ground, and the whole ride took just about 10 minutes.
And that's
50 yuan.
Wow.
Quite expensive.
It is.
Also, I think this compound is very four-season friendly, because when it's a rainy day, you can just find a shelter here in a bumper car rink, or you can just bring your kids to the Science and Technology Education Center. And if it's such a day with a beautiful weather and sunny, you can take him or her around and get on these rides. I think there's quite a lot of interesting rides, and like what we saw in Beijing. So I think it's amazing. It's very happy to see all the kids can enjoy their childhood in their own city. I think that's the purpose.
Yeah.
And we are in the Central Park.
Yeah.
And speaking of Central Park, or the city, or the center of the city, I think, as a history buff, I couldn't help but think about in ancient times, people used to congregate next to a river or around a well. You know, many villages are built with the well in the center, and much like in the office, people congregate next to the water cooler. and Nyingchi obviously is a city built along the Nyingchi River, but for the city to build a children's amusement park in the center of it, I mean, that shows change in urban planning, change of philosophy in urban planning. Because I think in the 20th century in the U.S., most cities are built with a business district in the center, and then you have maybe some residential districts along further off. But now, that obviously is one way of urban planning. But then we also couldn't help but notice New York with the Central Park, but also the local city planners make great efforts to build tiny little parks by huge buildings. So that sort of is one philosophy of doing it. We here in Nyingchi maybe is doing something similar. At least we are building a Central Park here, and maybe further off, starting from this, they could think about any other ways that could help meet the demand of the local people.
Yeah, and also I hear the local demand of the people of entertainment and music, as there are plenty of cars that are driving off this road not that far away from us. I can't really tell the distance, but you can hear the blasting music, and that's what people do everywhere. I feel, you know, it's a great summer day out there today, and you have your car windows down and play your favorite music, and I just love the Tibetan language and the way the song sounds like, although I aren't capable of capturing the meaning of it, but people are enjoying their lives here, and I think that is the most important thing. And
I just thought of the next thing I would like to see in the city of Nyingchi, and that is more convenience stores.
Convenience stores?
Yeah.
You don't think there
are those shops that are open 24 hours a day, and you can go maybe get a Band-Aid or a bottle of a beer or anything. Just knick-knack stuff.
Right. But is it because the city is not too big, and so people are just enjoying their local grocery shops? And this is like the Chinese style of the convenience stores. And also, I think here the e-commerce platform is very convenient. They can provide all the necessities and to the citizens here. And what is also pretty interesting is the location of this park. We have mentioned many times this is a central park. You know, I'm a very realistic person, and when it comes about the central location of a city, usually the price for the land is very, very expensive. So instead of like establishing like real estate business, and the government chose to establish a central park and for the kids, I think this is very human oriented, and it's a very advanced like urban planning method. So I'm very happy to see this, and Nyingchi is so beautiful, and but next time I want to visit Nyingchi in the springtime, because I want to see the peach blossom, and the whole mountains maybe part of the mountains are covered in pink, and a color which is very romantic, and this is Nyingchi, my dream place.
Yeah, and we're seeing all these mountains in the vicinity of this park. Basically the city is surrounded by so many mountains, but these mountains, they're not the really, there goes the motorbike, by the way. Looks like a food delivery guy.
Be careful.
He's racing to fulfill his order. Yes, so the mountains here in Nyingchi, in my opinion, and I am, you know, sort of just a casual traveler in this sense, they seem to be so much milder than the mountains I've seen near Lhasa.
Like, is it because of altitude?
Can you elaborate? What do you mean by mild?
If I may. So basically, you see that the mountains, they don't go like so straight up. They basically
steep. Is it?
They're not so steep. Steep. Maybe it could be a word. So you see there are like mountains after mountains, but they go by these really smooth lines. And also you see these mountains are covered with greenery, and that is so pleasing to the eye. And I'm a northerner. I come from Beijing, and in our part of the country, the mountains can be a little barren sometimes in certain parts of the year, and you can really see the natural scenery and landscape being very different in China, place to place, considering, you know, how vastly different one place can be to another, and people living here, you know, they're brought up in a very different kind of culture and climate.
Yeah. Right. Majestic would be the word I use to describe the mountains in the suburb of Beijing.
Really?
I usually take you know, weekend rides to the suburb. Yeah, especially West Beijing.
Yeah.
If you go further west, you pass across the Xishan, which is conveniently named West Mountains. And these mountains are very tall, and every now and then you see, well, maybe a segment of the Great Wall. And that view simply is magnificent compared to the mountains I've grown used to in my hometown. I mean, I'm from Jiangxi province, where it is, well, I wouldn't say mountainous, it's hilly. So my home was in the basin, surrounded by mountains like this. And so I moved to Beijing, I look at the mountain, all rocky, all tall and steep. I think that's a very strange experience. And which is why I think it's really important for people to travel, to have different experiences. Otherwise, what's the point of living? I mean, at least for me, my point is to see more and to experience more. And these mountains may look very much like those in my hometown, but remember, this is altitude 300 plus meters.
You guys mentioned a mountain.
3,000 meters plus.
Yeah, 3,000 meters plus.
Yeah, since you guys mentioned a mountain, and yesterday we were super lucky because on our way back from Lulang town to Nyingchi city, and we saw the snow-capped mountain Nanjiabawa, and we talked to local people. They say, wow, you guys are the super lucky tourists, because usually people cannot see the peak and also the snow-capped top of the mountain in summertime, and it's always covered by mist and clouds, and we were super excited, and we were waiting in a line to like each take a photo with the snow-capped mountain.
Yeah, usually my way of going about life is to try and stay calm and not be too excited about stuff. But yesterday, looking at the snow-capped mountain, I mean, I was thinking in my head, this is probably the only time in my life that I get to see that mountain, that magnificent, that very, very magnificent view. Like Kwan-san said earlier, it is very rare, even for the locals, to get a glimpse of that mysterious cap. So I was reasonably excited about seeing that.
Reasonably?
Yeah, reasonably excited. And we also got to take a lot of group photos.
Yeah, I was insanely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hong was very excited, and it was nice to see Lai Ming, you know, out of his element a little bit once in a while.
Just a little bit.
Just a tiny little bit, yeah. And yeah, it was a really nice experience. I guess just for me, I mean, since you were talking about life philosophies and things, I treat every day like, you know, there's no chance of going back, obviously. So I'm actually, I usually get more animated. But when it comes to this, when we talk about life and the day we spend, I think I'm pretty cool about it. Whatever it comes my way, I'm just gonna, you know, grab it. And carpe diem is really the motto for the moment now. And so, you know, enjoy your time. When we were, you know, somehow universe has thrown it our way that we're doing this show for you here, and you are watching us, or you're listening to the podcast or the radio show of Roundtable, and I just keep on being distracted by such beautiful scenery and the atmosphere in Nyingchi, which is very different from what we're usually used to during doing the show. So this is a special trip for us all too.
It is very special. I mean, we've been here a few days, and I have to admit, it's been very tough few days for us. Huiyang, you've been working very hard to keep breathing.
Yeah,
and then
or
also
to relax a little bit.
And keep breathing.
Well, it's a tough mission on everybody on the team, and you don't see the heroes behind the scene, and we do. So this is really quite a mission for everybody, and the high altitude is really something that I think I underestimated, because I've been here before last time by plane. Yeah. Thank you guys. And it was a very different experience. So if you're thinking about traveling to Tibet, and definitely a place I think worth your time. Each time will probably be different.
Of course.
Especially considering how you get there, and also just you're in the hands of the mercy of fate, whether you will settle in nicely, just taking you a couple of days, or it will take you far more than that, I don't know. But we do have some team members who basically, just arrived here almost and didn't
felt nothing.
Felt nothing, and said, "Oh, it feels exactly the same like in Beijing." And don't I envy those guys? But we are getting better, I think, as we spend more time here on the Qinghai Tibet plateau.
And last year, I think I had a chance to travel to Inner Mongolia and to Guizhou. And the scenery obviously was very fantastic, and it was a very good experience. But the workload,
don't get us started.
But I can reassure you, after this is all over,
when we look back,
all you remember is the time we spent together, the scenery you see, and the fact that you achieved great things. Because this is what I feel looking back to what I did last year.
Yeah, I think the most valuable thing for me is that along this journey, I can share some really precious moments with the people I've been working with for a very long time. I really love you guys, and I think earlier we used the term like work brother or sister. I say you guys are just like my work siblings. So I'm very happy to embark on this journey with you guys, and I think we will do some amazing shows hopefully, and when we look back we can proudly show this to our family or friends, maybe your son, and it will be a great opportunity to bring him and our families to this amazing place next time. I think if we can offer some tips for people who are about to visit Tibet, I think don't believe in any tips, just follow your own pace. And some people told me, oh, you should quit working out a week before going to Tibet, and I think it doesn't help, at least for me. So I think my tip is that just relax yourself and follow your pace, follow your heart, and chill out. This is Tibet. This is a place for you to just sit down and think about your life and reflect on your past and just heal yourself, and you have the courage to keep working on and keep going on, I would say.
What is your takeaway from traveling in Tibet so far? Because mine is to remind myself that I should try and slow down.
Yeah.
Because with the sparse oxygen in the air, and every move you make, especially drastic moves like jolting or sprinting somewhere, I always feel the warning from my lungs. So before we came here, some of our colleagues told us that when you go there, you should study the local people, how they act, how they go about their daily business, and also that attitude, that laid back but still getting things done, that kind of attitude. And this is so far. This is my takeaway from this trip.
Well, that's what, along those lines, you kind of shared with me some of your thoughts earlier on. And for me, I knew that it was going to be tough for me, to work here, because we are essentially, on a reporting trip and having all these shows that we need to bang out for you. Not easy. And so this is totally different from just, traveling as a tourist. Anyhow, I knew it was going to be difficult in the sense that I am a go-getter. I do stuff. I get stuff done. When other people are still, in their living rooms and getting ready, I'm already off in the driveway. That's the kind of person I am. And I know it's going to be hard because the Tibetan plateau tells you to slow down. And that is, I think, something that I'm still trying to get used to. And with the high altitude sickness, you don't necessarily know it's getting you. It's just, you don't know it's there, but it's there for some people, unless you're one of those really lucky ones who can just take it so easily with these arriving in such a high altitude place. So yeah, in that sense, I think if we get a little bit spiritual, the natural climate does teach you things, and also if you're not into the spiritual aspect of things, which is I think a little bit of a shame if you're here in Tibet, because there's so much culture, so much religion, so much history to take in. This is still a beautiful place to be at. If we were here on vacation,
just for fun,
just laying down on the meadow, having a book in hand and just enjoying, the natural scenery around.
Have a high tea next to the lake in Lulang town.
That sounds mesmerizing and also magical.
I know this has been tough, but I'm looking forward to coming back to Nyingchi.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Lhasa, but I'm looking forward to coming back to Nyingchi.
Yeah, Nyingchi is so beautiful, and I think probably this is a message for us city dwellers. Sometimes you feel like I'm overwhelming with the workload or the pressure from life, but don't forget that you should try to cherish the beauty in your life. It may just happen once in a while, but we still need to cheer about it, and we need to calm down and slow down sometimes, and to pay attention to the beautiful things around us. And in this way, we can absorb the essence from these beautiful things around us and to enrich ourselves.
Yeah, Huangshan, I think you've really sort of elevated yourself to in the spiritual level ever since we got to Tibet, and you've got such great tips for people in the sense of getting a different way of looking at life, maybe. And once we're here, we're not on vacation, but also I don't remember the dates at all. I don't remember what day it is, nor the date in the week either. It's just go, go, go. That's one thing. But also, you kind of just don't have any reason to remember that stuff. Sometimes it's about just letting yourself go a little bit. Because now when I think about, how busy the subway is in Beijing, and how packed the streets can be, and every day, rushing to work, and sometimes I'm not really painting a great picture for those who are living in Beijing right now, but that just feels like a different life in a different time.
There's been a very cynical view at the institution of vacations. There's a saying that maybe this is created in the world of consumerism to encourage people to travel and buy stuff and spend money to buy service. But I'm not sure about that. I mean, I was certainly inspired when I read that story. But come to think of it, isn't all the successful advertising speaking to the heart of individuals? And even though consumerism and businesses may be encouraging you to travel and to spend money, but isn't it because that deep in your heart you want to travel, you want to see something different, that you will finally make the decision to actually carry it out? Or
maybe Liming is sowing you the seed of travel, of wanting something different in your life. Yeah, Liming has a really good way in doing that.
Really? Because think about it, if you don't need a flashlight, and if I keep telling you you need a flashlight, I'm not sure you eventually decide to get a flashlight.
Unless that person's really smart with what they do. With so many of these tech gadgets, for example, and so many other things. But yeah, I think that's a fascinating observation, really. What's our need and what's our want, and how do we determine that? And
when you travel to Tibet, and you
can't help but get deep.
And we forget one of the most important ingredients of a journey. That is the food. When we go back to Beijing or even go back to Lhasa, I will definitely miss the chicken soup in the traditional stone pot.
Yeah, it's a big piece of rock, a stone, and then
carved into a pot.
Yeah, and traditionally it's done manually, but now not always. And you like the taste?
I like the taste. It's very rich, and it reminds me of the soup in Guangdong province. You can feel the freshness of all the ingredients inside the pot, and also there's a very precious mushroom called
matsutake.
Matsutake. Yeah, it sounds like a Japanese word, and it's very expensive. Yeah, and people in here they're so generous. They usually give us a really thick slices of like matsutake into the chicken soup. Oh, it's dynamite. You have to try it. And also you can only try it in here in Nyingchi.
You know what's funny? Even the chicken soup reminds you to be slow because the stone pot takes forever to cook. We had to phone the restaurant that we were about to go to 1 hour ahead of time just to make sure that when we hit the restaurant, we have something to eat.
Yes, that's something I'm going to miss. Not the waiting for the soup to be cooked bit, but definitely the 石锅鸡. Okay, so the stone pot chicken. Yeah, tastes really delicious and really fresh. And some of the locals say even if you take the same pot and chicken back to Beijing, it will taste different. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us on another episode of Roundtable's special series, Railway Trippin' Tibetan Style, and we will bring you more fresh content out of Tibet. I'm He Yang, Lai Ming, and Huangshan. Let's wave goodbye to our friends. Bye.
Bye. And Didi.